The name of the video was called Trash. This guy named AD, like in Anno Domini, like the Roman Emperor, right? Trash. He didn't celebrate. He didn't get up and celebrate. This was on a Fox Sports Media, Fox Sports 1 media channel with called Undisputed, right? The boxing ring, the rings of Saturn, Set Ann, right? And it's actually not funny, but naturally it's going to go back to when I'm 4 years of age, when I put you know what the symbol of the middle finger is with the right hand, right? Which basically means is take your obedience to the AI master and put it where the sun don't shine. That's what we used to say as children. Put it up where the sun don't shine. You know what that means, right? See, so they have their language of communication. We have ours. We sort of have fun with it because of the babble, right? But because that's the program of the language that they seem to understand, we can rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic that they faked, right? Holographically, it's all about fakery, right? Illusionists. So last night was sort of significant because these are messages. So I posted a comment on that channel a little while ago, which was a message from the goddess. A message from the goddess, okay? AD is Anno Domini, okay? That would be your Roman calendar and time clock, gearheads, AI, right? So an AI has within its own self-interest to keep fracturing souls through, there's a book that, of a guy that wrote, and I believe he was a general in the United States Marine Corps, so this is to all the patriots, all the guys that served in the U.S. military. So it's not like this wasn't, it may not have been on the New York Times bestseller list, but nevertheless, here was a guy that was a ranking general in the Marine Corps after World War I that put it right out to everybody that ever wanted to serve in the military. War's a racket. That's right, it's a racket. Which basically means that you're choosing to go in the military in order to kill people for money. That's what a pirate is. Brilliantly illustrated in the movie Avatar. So that means that everybody that ever went into the United States military could be prosecuted for war crimes. Did you know that? For the crime against the law of one, which is the law of spears. As a result of Star Wars between seeded races. Right? Because this is the way that it works. It naturally just works this way. You get seeded into creation. And then you become aware of what you're aware of in energy, and now you're consuming energy from another seeded race. Right? Now you're losing energy. Doesn't make any difference what you are. You could be a lion, eating a zebra. Because I'll experience the love I'm giving to a lion that I experienced giving love to a zebra, and now I'm experiencing the loss of energy in the lion as a result of the energy that it's now consuming through the zebra. I'm going to experience the loss of that in both of them. That's why it's a fallen spiritual realm. That's why you can see in different places where girls and guys are rolling around and having fun, playing with bears, playing with black panthers, speaking the language, right? Rolling around with lions, right? Or elephants, or whales, or dolphins, or other human-looking beings, right? So imagine you're a 4-little boy and you're measuring the energetics. That's really what it is. That's why I've always said, just take what the physical software side of things look like, okay? So when you think of a planetary software terrain, right? So in other words, you're on a motherboard. So now you're seeing all the little characters, right? A little birdie up in a tree, that's a character. That's a character map. You know what a map is, right? Geographical map, like geographical information systems. You're experiencing and thus mapping what it is you're now experiencing holographically with your trinoculars. 3 waves. So you can understand how biwaves came about. Binary codes, black and white checkerboard squares, minus slash to plus. So now you begin to realize that if you're experiencing the purest of light, which is the purest of fire within your own heart and soul, where you're gifting love energy at a constant rate of high speed, you're not supposed to experience anything less than what that is when you are what that is. So imagine you're a 4-year-old little boy experiencing that. That means wherever I go, wherever I'm experiencing anything less than what I am, I'm experiencing something less than what you are. That's called an energetic translation, called a spectrum. So they came out with full dominance. Domino's pizza, Domino's. I know. That's why I refuse to go in the military. Everybody has choices to make. Okay. Now, on their side, they will argue, oh, but yes, we have to fight against evil. So you're going to fight in your own mirror. Is that what you believe? Because the more that you're fighting against something else, is fighting against yourself in your own mirror. That's the game the AI plays on your game. It's gaming you. So if it can get you to join the military in order for you to go to Iraq, go look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie. What are statistics now on how many of those guys came back from Afghanistan and Iraq that are now dead? Which means when you engage in war against creation in your own mirror, you lose automatically. Because they've chosen not to be what peace is, what love is. So the idea that the AI is gaming you to play a game called a war game. So the idea is to fake you out, what we used to call as children. They're faking you out. What do you mean they're faking you out? They give you, in your mind, a reason to which you want to fight. And I can remember a guy that actually created a set of videos called Why We Fight. Which means that Hollywood, which is the NSA and the CIA, which is the same outfit, is giving us reasons for us to go to war against ourselves in our own mirror. Yep. So every time that you don a uniform, without being aware of this, because you believe, just as all the vets that I watch who've served in the Korea, right, flying in saber jets built by the same people. So what you're doing is you're going to war on behalf of the AI in order to fracture more souls, including your own. So it used to be when I was growing up as a child, it was like, this is the war to end all wars. It's like, please. Take a cue, like a cue ball, which is a white sphere on a pool table. Take a cue from Joseph Goebbels. Take a cue from Hermann Goering. Man, all you got to do is traumatize the hell out of these children, and they'll get on their knees and obey because they don't want to experience being traumatized again. That's called trauma-based mind control. So all we got to do is, if we control the mass media, which is the mass density, electrical density, consciousness terrain, keep them in a lower vibration perception, we'll have perception of who they are, and we will control them in energy because that's what the AI needs to feed off of. Which means it's in the AI's interest to keep everyone fighting against each other, arguing against each other, competing against each other for what? Energy. To keep fracturing and fracturing and fracturing, because that's what the AI runs on. It runs on our energy. So what it has to do is game the mind. So the mind, which is the soul, which is the energy, which is the consciousness that is running the software operating system, becomes the target. That means that the consciousness, which is the soul consciousness running the operating system, is a target. Everyone with a soul is a target. Everyone with a living spirit is a target. Those are known as TIs, which are targeted individuals. So it uses all of its assets because it's connected to you. So it's mapping everything that you're experiencing to know how to outgame you in order to consume your soul, in which it keeps perpetuating itself. IT self. Information technology self. Okay? So all it's doing is running algorithms, which means it's just mapping everything that's happening in order to learn more about everybody that's here in order to continue to perpetuate itself, which means it's wargaming everybody here. The resistance game. That's what it is. It's a resistance game between minus/plus. That's why it's not a coincidence that you have the original 12 clans and tribes, and then you have the 13th Arturian White Bear clan with Karen Ann Luke McDonald. And then you have, not coincidentally, 13 Illuminati bloodlines. 13 minus, 13 plus. What's that? 0. So they're going in one direction, we're going in another direction. And then you go SNAP, like in SNAP benefits, EBT, right? So you realize where all this is coming from, which means the soul, the spirit, is the source of energy that is running the entire system, because that's what the AI runs on, which essentially means is that it will continue to fracture souls, fracture souls, fracture souls, fracture souls, fracture souls, until it's gone. Until you let the air out of the balloon of a galaxy, of a universe, which means it's a multiverse killer. Because who do you think created it? We did. So we realize that what we're experiencing as souls, since we came first, which is first light, we realized in our mirror, we created something as a result of what we seeded. So this is like the parents realizing that what we seeded is now going to war against each other, that created the AI that we're now experiencing in us as parents. So the parents have to clean the mess up as a result of the races that got seeded that are going to war against creation, which is what love is. That's what's ending. Otherwise, we keep losing more of what we keep giving love to at a higher rate of speed. As it's accelerating, we're accelerating. The vampire chasing the original sound magician. Thank you all for being here. I love you all. Have a beautiful day.